Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Fluxx Podcast 2025 Middle East Edition. And we have with us most charismatic, handsome naturopath Charles Ung.
Hi everyone.
And he has been entertaining us not only with his knowledge and products, but his amazing energy and vibe, which is I'm a fan of.
Thank you so much, Taaliah.
First of
Thank
all,
you so much.
congratulations. Thank you for being here and for giving us your time and energy. We're going to get back to all the questions I have because I want to know everything.
Right.
So first and foremost, what inspired you to explore the intersection of naturopathy and AI within the Border Wellness Company?
Well, I think naturopathy is a discipline that has been really misunderstood by many people, or probably many people don't really understand what a naturopath does.
Yeah.
So basically, we look at the body as an integrated system. Okay, it's a holistic way of treating the human body. So, but what I specialize mostly in would be towards the skin, dermatological conditions. So, my niche lies with creating plant extracts, plant-based serums to actually address and manage different skin conditions such as acne, pigmentation, sensitive skin, and aging skin. So, with regards to tech and AI, tech was 20 years ago. When I first started as a naturopath, technology was actually reserved for more invasive procedures or even medical-only settings. So prior to becoming a naturopath, I was an engineer. I started off as an engineer. So with the engineering background that I have...
That's a drastic change from engineer to face engineer.
Yes. But I think it's a very interesting change, and I'm very thankful for the change because through my work, I was able to actually bridge these two so-called, I would say, opposing forces, different disciplines, and to converge them into what we call integrative care today. You know, we are talking about inclusivity in this world, but inclusivity not just for mankind, between men, women, male, female, but I feel that this kind of integrative inclusiveness could be different multidisciplinaries of lifestyle, of knowledge. You know, they can actually converge into something more powerful and to serve mankind and to help mankind deal with the issues of its time. So I thought this was a very timely, and it was a very amazing way of putting my knowledge to better use. You know, I don't think any knowledge should be kept for themselves or to glorify themselves. I think the best use of knowledge is actually to combine them to useful purposes so that they can actually benefit people that I've yet to know. You know, I want them to lead better lives. And
it's like a win-win situation. You're like, I'm winning, but I want you guys to win too.
Exactly. So
with a beautiful skin on.
You are beautiful, Taaliah. But definitely, you know, with this integration, I think everybody deserves better skin, or at least more resilient skin.
Yes.
You know, I think this is a real issue out there. It pains me a lot to see people not leading better lives because they couldn't appreciate themselves or look at themselves good enough. It is very dire, actually, because I've seen so many talented individuals out there. I really, really wish that they would love themselves a little bit more.
Do you think social media is the biggest cause, one of the causes?
I would say it's a contributing cause. Yeah, there are many, many causes for one reaction. So I look at it also from a naturopathic view. When we have a skin condition or like a condition with one of our organs, you know, maybe a degenerative condition, for example, it's not because I ate something yesterday. It was probably a compounded cause. A compounded result of different causes throughout, say, 5, 10, 15 years that resulted in one condition that finally shows up on the health charts, you know, on the health reports.
People are like, oh, I'm going to diet, so I'm not going to eat something for a day or a week. And then why it's still going up? Because you've been eating for a day.
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly for the skin.
Correct. So I think as a naturopath, although I specialize very much in the human skin, which is actually the largest organ of our human body, as superficial as it sounds, but I'm also looking at their diet, their lifestyle, how they actually take care of their skin. So I think this is extremely important because you can actually, I think most mainstream therapies or mainstream protocols, what they do is that they treat the symptoms. But yes, I do address the symptoms. I do address the symptoms in a reactive manner. But I think more importantly is to treat the condition in a preventative manner, and also what we call holistic manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that the results will sustain for a very long period of time. And when the person can sustain, when he or she can sustain that kind of result that shows on the skin for a very long period of time, somehow their lifestyle will improve, because this is actually what they want, and they slowly ease into that lifestyle. And when they ease into that lifestyle, their health will actually improve.
And it's long lasting if when you ease
Very
into it. When you're
long
just like, you can do it, then you forget for a week or two, and then you do it again, and then you're like, it's no continuation to it.
Exactly. And I think it really helps when you can see the gradual improvement. Humans are humans. You know, we want to see something in order to know that, okay, I'm investing my time, effort,
Yes.
you know, and my little lifestyle
What's
change.
the reward I'm getting?
Yes,
So I
correct.
need to see the reward.
Exactly. So when they can see that subtle improvement, they associate it with not just the formulations that I create, the formulations or the skincare that we do for them, the treatments that we do for them, but also that advice that they get from Naturopath Charles. Naturopath Charles is not here just to help me with my skin. As a naturopath, he's also going to help to neaten up my lifestyle, neaten up my diet. I can't change the way my food preferences is, you know, but he will advise me how I can work with it and work around it, you know, so that it's sustainable. I know exactly why I'm doing it, instead of being told that you must do this. You know, I think there's a logic behind it. I think being a responsible practitioner, it is extremely important for us to perpetuate this thing called education, not misinformation. There's nothing sexy or trending about it. I don't see it as
I wish people knew that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think
not everything you see is something
as it is
valuable.
Yeah.
Something can be stupid. So just understand what you're going into.
Yes.
So before how would you explain the role of naturopathy in today's wellness landscape compared to the conventional, old school healthcare?
Well, I guess most of the older generation of naturopaths, we deal with basically a lot of herbs, a lot of plants. You know, we identify the body by observation through clinical experiences, you know, depending on which clinic we are attached to. I'm based in Singapore. I live in Singapore, you know. So unfortunately, there's no such clinic in Singapore. So I had to create my own practice. It was really tough from the start. But I realized that what was dire at the time was actually skin. Skin is a huge issue in Singapore because we have people from all over the world living in Singapore. Singapore is a whole melting pot of different races, different cultures, different ethnicity. And we have, I mean, it's probably summer and tropical all year round, but we do get some fluctuations in the climate actually as well. You know, but these are amplified because people come from different places. When the skin condition manifests in such an environment, it becomes really unmanageable. So sensitive skin and acne skin was something that I had to deal with at that time when I first started my practice. So I thought, okay, you know what, Charles, you should actually look into very specifically managing skin conditions to give them sustainable skin solutions. You know, managing it doesn't mean that, okay, you know what, you use this and you keep using this and you keep using this for as long as you can and your skin will get better. It will get better only because it probably suppresses the condition.
Because you're your own product, right? If you are saying that this is what I'm doing and then you don't take care of yourself, people will be like, oh, well, is this authentic? Should I go for it? Because it kind of manipulates what you're trying to prove to the people, try to sell away.
Yes, correct. So they cannot be made to feel that way.
Yes.
And nobody wants to be trapped with a product. Like I can use this for my entire life. If they had to use it for their entire life, it's probably also good to create something that is good for sustenance. You know, like you need to cleanse your face like throughout your entire life probably, you know, but you don't need a very strong cleanser. You know, probably a cleanser that helps you with your acne condition at the start may not work as the cleanser to cleanse your acne for the rest of your life. You know, so I need to create products that work for you at that point and continue to work for you in other ways with the same product.
Yeah.
You know, it takes away the guessing game. It takes away the trying game. The more you try different products, it's like diet. You know, it's like, I think diet may be a very good analogy for it. Like, I want to go on a cabbage soup diet just to lose weight. But I don't see results in like 2 weeks or 2 months, you know, and I give up and I go on the next diet.
Yeah.
You know, you get really disappointed. But I mean, then again, if you really try the cabbage diet for the rest of your life, you really can see some kind of result. It's just how long you use it. But
dedication. People
dedication.
are restless and have very short attention span. So they're like, no, now working next. What is next? Just like the reels we kind of keep scrolling.
Correct. So diet is still okay, I would say. But when it comes to skincare, it's very dangerous actually. When you keep switching products, you're just damaging, most of the people, they end up damaging their skin barrier because they don't know what exactly is in the bottle. Most of the people that I spoke with, they say, oh, what kind of product? I say, oh, I'm using this product with this key ingredient. But the question is that how much of this key ingredient is actually in that bottle? And that key ingredient alone isn't enough to produce the expected result to manage your condition or manage your expectations. So it can't work that way. And then they start using 10 different products. So it's either you change many products within a very short period of time. So your skin it's like a chemical factory now.
Yeah. This is one thing I loved about you yesterday. So when I went to you, there were a few other people and you were talking about the product because I was curious. And you said, tell me what is your skin type. You were not saying, okay, this is night serum, this is this. You were not. You're like, no, what is your skin type? And the other person with me had an oily acne, so you were describing that. So I thought, okay, well, this is one product. I said, but I don't have oily skin. Then I went to you, you said, no. Tell me what is the problem, what is the issue you think you face. These are such technical terms, but online when you see influencers selling out something, or if you see any skincare product, they're like, okay, this is night serum, you put the tonic on, you do this, there are steps. And everybody start using the exact products with exact kind of, like the motions of it, but you didn't do it. This is the first time ever. So I think this is one thing that makes you stand out and your products as well, because this is very unique. You're investing in each and every person and what they need. That's why the product is that providing with that kind of rewarding results.
Oh, thank you. I didn't realize that actually. It's just the way that I always do it. I honestly never felt it was anything special because I think it was innate. And also because in the line of being a naturopath, we identify everyone as a fingerprint. And everybody's fingerprint is unique. So is the individual. I think the thing about a naturopath running a business is that we got to know where our priorities lie. You know, yes, making a business, doing a business and making a living out of it, I would say. I wouldn't say making a profit, I would say making a living. Why is that so? Because a lot of the profits, and my customers know very well, a lot of my profits actually go into research. Because naturopathy and very specifically for plant extracts, phytochemicals, they are very under-researched. We have lots of good herbs, plants around the world. The world doesn't revolve around Chinese traditional medicine, Korean medicine, or Ayurvedic, or European herbs and all that. No, it's everything all at once. But it's so misunderstood and so understudied. It's like a whole seabed, you know, of resources that Mother Nature is giving us. So a lot of my resources, money, financial resources, go into investing. So which is probably
it's returning back to the same product.
Yes, correct. Returning the favor that my customers have bestowed me for. And back to what you said about how the way I look at my clients, you know, like even like yourself, is that you have to answer to the right question. And therefore, I need to ask the right questions to get the right answers for me to produce the most targeted answer to this individual.
And
this
suitable for my skin and my lifestyle. So it's a very nice thing. In what ways is AI enabling more of the personalized naturopathic care for the clinics or clients?
Okay, so as naturopaths, as I mentioned earlier, we usually practice by experience and by observation. Most, okay, not all, but most. Yeah, so there are various diagnostic tools, but I feel that I use a lot of AI. In fact, AI is probably one of the most talked about subject in probably this 3 years.
Yeah.
But back then, as early as 2006, which when I first introduced my very first product, skincare product, I also realized that it can help me refine my clinic's in-house treatments. And to me, I didn't associate it as AI. I just, as an engineer, I associate it as big
Research
data.
and collecting data.
Data,
Yes.
and making sense and interpreting data for purposeful use.
Yeah.
You can use it, but is it purposeful? That is my real question to people who say that, oh, I use AI, and AI is good. I'm going to charge for AI. I'm going to pay me this amount for AI. It's expensive because it's high tech. I would say it's tech. Is it high tech? It depends on how you use it and how purposeful you use it. You can have a very expensive technology but you're using the basic level. That's called low value. So I think what I feel that I can help my customers save money. I'm the kind of business owner that probably helps my customers to save money. So I would want to use more economic ways, more economic methods to give them the highest possible value. Be it technology, be it research, be it my skin treatments, be it my products. I always want to reduce the cost as much as possible so that my hard work, my team's hard work can be distributed throughout the rest of the world, hopefully. Now it's just in Singapore, but I really hope to bring, after Fluxx has really made me realize the value of what I can provide to the world at large. And it really energizes me a lot until today, after 20 years.
And especially when as a new consumer, your product is actually that good. I
Thank you so
applied
much.
one day and I feel so changed. So yes, the world needs it. Some
Thank you.
natural, herbal, and a client or a person who actually cares about each individual. I think we all need it. So you have to think about it.
Thank you. I will definitely. Fluxx Conference has opened me up and really bridged many visionaries and leaders. And, I just see myself as a very small ecosystem within the huge ecosystem. I think this is extremely valuable. And I think that it has allowed me to use this as a platform to connect with people out there and to become more confident of what I do, because I'm just a researcher.
Yeah.
I tell myself I'm just a researcher. I'm here to service my clients. I am a professional. I'm here to provide a service to my clients. And I want to bring this value out there to people so that it's affordable and everybody can enjoy good skin. With good skin, we are very visual creatures. Let's face it.
Yes.
Most people are,
Yeah.
So I think it really helps that I love myself a little bit more. If I love myself just 1% more every single day, it's compounded interest, And because I'm so confident about myself, I feel that it's so easy for me to communicate what I can do for my company, my life, my spouse, my other half, my kids, my parents, my co-workers, my best friends. If everybody grows with me, I grow as well.
Yeah.
It's a very direct, it's like confidently beautiful from
Your
within.
environment makes you grow brighter and more confident and happier. That's exactly why we want the impact of having a safe environment makes a very strong leader, which I can see for an example.
Yes. And back to AI, when I used AI 20 over years, I didn't thought it would become AI as what we know today. It was good data interpretation, and from there I realized that AI is a wonderful tool, but AI, as in current times, it cannot be used as a marketing tool. Why I say so? Because there are so many people who, regardless whether they are in whichever profession they're in, they leverage on I know AI, so therefore I am a specialist or I'm a professional in that because I have this thing called ChatGPT. ChatGPT is one of the many AI tools, but there are always limitations at this point, or rather at any juncture. Every platform, every AI tool, every design tool, every knowledge, or be it engineering, science, medicine, naturopathy, accounting, business and finance, there's always a shortcoming. It's a lot of things, but it's not everything.
Yeah.
So as responsible adults, we don't even talk about being a professional. As responsible adults, we need to know where to draw the line. Where to draw the line so that you don't continue or to embark on that misleading route down. Because especially for my line of work, we deal with people who need help. People who either have dire skin condition to actually treat because it causes pain to them. It causes irritation to them. Or people who really feel so unconfident, they don't actually have a huge, massive skin problem, but that few spots on the face, like say pigmentation,
Maybe
it makes
just
them feel so
bothers
small.
them. Yeah, it just
correct.
bothers
It's
them.
relative. Nobody is to say that, oh, your skin condition is not
Yeah.
serious, because to them, it means a lot to them.
Yeah.
So when it comes to advising people, you cannot just use AI to answer their questions.
Yes.
Because AI cannot replace empathy, cannot replace professional judgment, and what they want to hear when they come to us. I'm a human. A human comes to me. A human wants to know what a human feels because they feel that you're good enough to advise them.
Yeah.
And yes, they will probably seek a second opinion out there, which I'm perfectly fine. At least you know that you're doing your best to give them something, an advice that is grounded.
Yeah.
Grounded in knowledge, grounded in tools, grounded in actual experiences, clinical experiences, grounded in client observation. This is something which I think a modern practitioner, and for myself as a naturopath, that's like a plant naturopath, should actually do. We use different tools, we put them together, we integrate them. It's so much condensed into something that is so communicative to my clients, so that he or she, regardless of background, regardless of what kind of academic background they have, they're able to really understand and make use and make sense of it so that they can emulate it in their lives. This is so important. This is my approach to even answering a very simple question: which product is for me? It's not the products for you. It's not that I want to sell you something. Yes, I do want to sell you something, but I want to sell you something that you need.
And benefit to you as well.
Yes, correct.
You mentioned the AI tools and techniques. So can you share the real example of AI tools and technologies already that are supporting you and your cause?
Okay. So in my lab, I don't have a name for the AI tool. So there's an AI tool that we built. I mean, there's no name to it because it's kind of like a back-end thing. Correct. So it's not a commercially available AI. So so what is this so-called AI that I'm using, right? So basically, it's the same old good set of big data that I had like 16 years ago. So there's no name for it because it's just there as a function. So we have it in our lab. So what I always do is that I always do a boundary. I draw a boundary because AI is really smart. It will self-propagate. We all know that. They will kind of, whatever, a good AI or a good set of data is what kind of data you feed to it. It's like kind of like you are what you eat, or you are what you put on your face.
Now
it's
like computers are exactly the same. Like
correct.
What you're feeding them, they're just gonna learn from that.
Yes, it's like a child. If you feed your child with kindness, your child will very likely grow up to be someone loving and kind. But if you feed something with negative things, of course, it will come out negative. So I think it's very important that I isolate my AI with the rest of the AI, loosely isolated. Simply because usually when I work on a project, I will draw a boundary. And then what is in this boundary would be the established scientific journals. Scientific journals about skin conditions that I want to target for that particular serum, in-house formulation, or a skincare product that I want to push out to consumers. And then what kind of conditions is one, what the journals of the ingredients that I'm going to use. But I never use AI to prescribe a so-called a framework for the dosages. There are dosages which I will have to abide to. In Singapore, we abide by the ASEAN Cosmetic Directive. And it's also modeled after the EU cosmetic directive. So I abide to that very much. I'm really strict about it. I used to run.
That's the reason there is a good balance between your natural way of perceiving the skincare and healthcare. Because if you do exactly the proportion which any other company is using, they might be using something more harsher for normal skin, which can lead to damaging.
Yeah, there's a possibility, but there's a possibility of that and probably not a possibility of that. It depends on who is in charge of the project, actually. What I always believe in is to use as many complementary botanicals, botanical extracts in my formulation. But having said that, whatever can treat you can also harm you. So it's another set of safety factor that I have to build in. So I'm using the word safety factor because engineers, we always like to have this thing called safety factor. You know, how much weight can the concrete take on your level? How much weight can the lift take? You know, how many people? So that's a safety factor. Often I will inbuild an additional safety factor as a safety net for people who abuse my skincare products.
Yeah, because you cannot be in anyone's, like you do subscribe them and you tell them, this is the subscription, this is the procedure, this is how you do it. But you cannot just keep an eye on it, right?
Yes.
They'd be like, okay, it's too much. Maybe I use a little bit more today.
Yes.
Maybe I'll use a little less. Maybe I'll use tomorrow, not today. So this is like a really plus point for it, because now you have, if any unfortunate incident happened, you have a safety net, because this is the maximum damage that could happen.
Yes, correct. I think there's a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think often when I speak to people, they say that, oh, you have like a clinic, you have the treatment, you have the products. Oh, you must be really, really rich and you must make a lot of money. I would say that it's healthy. It's healthy because I get to invest quite a substantial amount into what I truly believe and being passionate about. And I'm very hungry to help people lead better lives. You know, I guess I pay a lot of attention to how I look, how I groom myself, but I think that that's not enough, because it's just for myself, you know, but I want to permeate this to the rest of the people that come to me, who trust me, for people who I get to know. So I want them to be like me, you know, like be a little bit nicer to yourself, groom yourself a little bit, you know, life is short, invest in yourself, you know. So I think this is why I wanted to invest, you know, in, you know, the monetary proceeds that's derived from the business. It all goes back there, you know, and I thought that was a very good move, because it enabled me to realize some of my aspirations, you know, in terms of what I could contribute. My kind of joy derives on contributing, giving, rather than taking. I'm not trying to position myself as a sage or anything, but I'm just wired that way. So I can't go against my nature.
That,
you know,
this
it's
is what
painful.
we need in the world nowadays. This is like rare few people left, and I'm very grateful that you're made like that.
Thank you.
How does AI strengthen the prevention-focused care, helping practitioners and clients to move from reactive and reactive wellness?
So AI, when I actually use it in relation to that, the preventive and restorative model. Restorative is the word. Yeah, correct. It helps me to envision what are the if cases. Yeah, because there is always the best expected outcome. There's always the worst expected outcome that we have to be aware of. Yeah, so to the client, it's a consultation.
Yeah.
But during the consultation, there's a mind map within me and the AI system that I use that will bring this client's current condition to this level, or the worst case scenario of this level.
This is the maximum worst that can happen.
Correct. So my personal definition of worst, which I am programming into the AI that I'm using now, is that the worst case condition must not be an aggravation of the symptom. The worst case scenario is it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Status quo. It cannot get worse than that, because it is extremely crushing for someone to come to you to be somewhat disappointed. That's okay, you know. But to be really upset, no.
This is a really great way of looking forward to your product, because I've never heard anybody to worry about everybody will talk about what is the best part of it, what's the best. Do this is gonna make your skin this. Nobody talks ever when they're talking about their product that worst can happen. This is like human thing. But you thinking about it, that makes it the product more authentic, more useful, more I believe worth it for anybody to consume it.
Yeah, I think I like this way, because I think it's when you run a service, you know, especially something to do with a human. Humans have emotions. Human is a very complex creature. You know, I think we've evolved so much, and I don't want to evolve backwards.
Yeah.
Because I think having an ample sense of empathy within the professional scope is much needed. And because there is empathy, you are able to feel and really understand what he or she actually really looks forward to. And we are able to set up tangible steps towards that solution. Because if you don't have a proper step towards that end goal, or probably you don't even have an end goal, how are you going to solve the problem? I mean, it's just...
But you don't have your vision for your own self.
Yeah,
Like, what are you going to do?
correct.
With it?
And, you know, as a practitioner, if I don't have a clear goal for my clients, or what kind of direction am I heading for them towards, I am not confident. I don't know where to move. I'm scared, you know, because I'm scared that the client, you know, if I don't do that, the client is, I'm scared that the client would come back at me and demand a refund, let's say, for example. I think that's the most painful thing to most businesses, right? But that wasn't the thing. The most painful thing is for my clients to tell me is that, I don't think you have the solution for me. Wow, that is crushing for me. You know, I think that is not only embarrassing, but it's like whatever hard work that I put in at the back end is not defined clearly. I don't get the results that I could have given this person.
And it bothers you because you don't get the answer.
It eats me up from the inside, you know, and it makes me feel unconfident of myself as a professional. You know, I can't let that happen to me. Which is why when I built my protocols, my treatment protocols, I'm very, you know, even my therapists and everything. So I make sure I pave way for them to lead my clients that they handle to success with or without my presence. Because how can any good service, number one, not be replicable? Number two, the main person has to always be there. This is really silly because there is no succession, there is no continuation. What if there's anything that happens to me for any reason, I can no longer turn up for work? Does it mean that my customers will be like lost orphans? You know, it's really saddening because these are the people that trust you and these are the faces that you see. They probably see you more often than they see their friends. You know, let's say if I have a clinic in Dubai, you know, or in China or in India, you know, and they know of me, they come to me and it's like, oh yeah, because he's not here, that's why the service is not good. It's a franchise, full stop.
That's such a common line we hear about so many products.
Correct. So since I already understand that there's this gap, it's a gap that nobody wants to fill. But I mean, in my universe, I feel that people don't want to fill the gap because it's just too hard, it's just too much effort, it's just a waste of my time because oh, you know what, the people there just can't do it.
Because I just got the profit already. So
correct. I just have made a little bit here, a bit there. It's good enough for me to whatever. But no, because when it comes to personal care, wellness, healthcare, it is extremely important to deliver the service as what they would have imagined you to, you know, because when you pave towards that direction, the real essence of it is, I tell my staff, I said, how bad can it actually be if you put in that kind of effort? How bad? Your 85% will be another clinic or another establishment's 150%. Let's look it that way. You know, there is no bad day in SkinEthos. There is no bad day. Clients coming looking fabulous. Clients coming looking wonderful, better than the average person, and leaves the clinic looking fabulous. You know, I'm moving to my clinic in November to Orchard Road, which is like a shopping district. You know, and my clients say that, oh, you know what, I don't really go to Orchard Road all the time, but because of you, I will go to Orchard Road.
Awesome.
Then I say, oh yeah, you can do like your errands, you can shop around, you can like go to a nice cafe there. You say, yeah, of course I will. You know, we're talking about clients that with me for like 3 months or like 18 years. They tell me the same thing. Yes, because every time that I leave your clinic, I don't know where to show off my face. You know, it's so cute of them.
I would like that confidence.
And you know what? I remember there was 7 of them who told me something like similar things. And out of these 7, surprise, 4 are men.
Wow.
Yeah, and these men are not like 20 plus, 30 plus. They are 50, 60 plus.
Wow.
Yeah, so the kind of confidence you have from... I mean, we often stereotype men who are above 50 as expired, like wine that has turned sour, you know. But no, you know, it's like they really age like fine wine, not because they were born like that. They were born, I would say, presentable looking, good looking actually. But no matter how good looking you are, you got to upkeep yourself.
The reason I believe also is at that time, grooming was only associated with female or feminine
Yes,
side.
yes,
And
correct.
men were very scared that even if they put on skincare like or a sunscreen, oh my God, no, 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 I can't do it because that's not a
Yeah, that's
manly
me.
thing to do.
That's me in the army. You know, it's like I was using a face wash and everybody said, "Oh, do you use a face wash?" I was like, "Yeah, I use a face wash. It's a personal care product." They said, "Oh, you're so vain." I mean, I think it's about self-care.
Not, yes.
Yeah, and you know, like these men, they have wives. Their wives come with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's so sweet, isn't it? Like a married couple with kids actually focus on themselves and their other half, and their marriage and their kids grow up so well because they have an example to see.
That's
so,
how, yes.
So it gives me a lot of purpose.
Yeah.
You know, it's like changing someone's life, someone's career, but I never understood that it actually can change someone's family life. You know, it's like I'm not just touching the lives of one or two people. I'm touching the lives of the entire family of young
a person,
kids.
I believe, whoever is a little bit secure or who feels it, who looks at the mirror and like, you know what, I feel good today. And the next moment they step out of there is a huddle or the shoe gets ruined, they'll be like, it's okay. But if in the same time, if they're going to look in the mirror and they're like, ugh, I look so shit, and that same huddle or wherever they step their shoe and it gets dirt on it, they'll be like so angry about it. It all starts from that one moment and one step, as you mentioned before.
Yes.
So when they look in the mirror, they feel good. Small huddles feel nothing. Then when they come back, the kids feel happy. They're treated well because this person in the morning felt good about themselves.
Exactly. You know, it's like I've never seen a sad face walking into my clinic.
That's amazing.
I've never seen like even like sometimes maybe because they travel or they're stressful, maybe like they have one breakout.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but it's a one breakout versus like 50 breakouts previously, you know. And you can see that they actually look forward. They come early to my clinic. So I'm moving my clinic. So I was telling my assistant, I said, you know what, we've got to spend a lot of time to look at the color palette, you know, the way the whole feel of it is. Then she agrees with me, and I told her, I said, we need to spend a lot of time and effort because our clients usually come a bit earlier. They come a little bit earlier, not to rush me to start their treatment, but they actually enjoy the place.
Yeah.
They tell me that I enjoy coming to your clinic. You know, previously when they went somewhere else, they don't actually want to go. Because
it's like a job for them. With you, it's like, you know what, a relaxing spa day.
It's a place where you can get professional treatment, but yet it's so relaxing and they feel safe.
Yes.
They feel safe that they're not taken for granted. They feel safe not knowing that I'm not going to sign for a package. You know, I'm not going to lock up my money. I think that's a real thing. I don't have a package in my clinic. To be honest, like 20 over years, I don't have a package. Like my friends who run their own clinics, I was like, how do you survive? Like without a package? I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, they just book their appointments and they come for the next appointment on time. That's all. You know, and they book.
You're like, I never had to think about it. With that, with the rise of wearables like and the heart tracking apps and all kind of technologies, how do you see the data transforming in the naturopathic practices?
Okay, all these devices are really wonderful. It helps the individual track and to pick up the first signs of ailments. That one I agree, because I think that the average person these days, they are quite well informed. You know, I think knowledge is something so powerful with the rise of technology. Not all technologies are bad. Again, it's the purpose. Right? So I think that as they know what they are in for, as a naturopath, although I don't deal with dire conditions of the body, I just deal with the skin. But as a naturopath, I think that these are wonderful tools for us to leverage on.
But do you think this is associated with, as you said, the diet and skincare?
Yes, there's a correlation, but not all correlations are stereotypes. Say, for example, there are people who say, oh, I've got breakouts, for example, or sensitive skin because I'm allergic to lactose. I can't take butter, I can't take cheese, I can't take milk, you know, all that. But we have to understand that people grow in and out of allergens. Okay? Like some people, when they first came to me, they are probably allergic to egg yolks or eggs in general. So they was like, okay, when their skin gets better, I said, you cannot avoid eggs. You know, so I'll advise them, try the egg whites. Try a little bit, just a little bit, see the reaction, build up the tolerance. Yeah, and then it's so much easier for them because it's so suffering to eat something without egg. You know, it's like eggless, flourless. Oh my God, can you live with it?
No, I
mean, to each his own, of course. I mean, there are people who really like that dietary preference. You know, some people really has a genetic allergy to
Yeah.
it. But it's a lot easier for us to leverage on these tools to ascertain whether can we expose the client to a controlled dosage and to see how's the reaction.
But don't you think these apps and all, it's good to track that, but to be obsessed with it, okay, oh, now my heart rate is this, now
No.
I slept like this.
No.
Because I believe people are becoming addicted to it. Oh, I didn't sleep well because I feel rested, but I don't feel like I
Okay,
slept
let me
well.
quote an example. We are going to cross the pedestrian crossing.
Okay.
It's the red man now. You have the button, the green, for the green man, right?
Yeah.
Pressing it furiously is not going to make the green man come on. Yeah. So checking your health every other time, it becomes an obsession. But
Yes.
there's no functional purpose. It doesn't change your health.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Like you're in the office, you're in a meeting, you're at school, you're at work. I mean, even if certain things go up and down, are you able to do something about it?
Exactly.
It's just going to cause you more anxiety.
Yeah.
So I think I hope like everyone would take it as it is. Just at a certain milestone, like in the morning, lunchtime, and before I go off from work. Let's just see where I stand. If I say, for example, if you don't clock enough steps, maybe I'll just walk to the next train station.
Yes,
Maybe I'll
yeah.
just walk to the next bus stop, or like
Yeah.
alight one bus stop before.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just shop around in the bookstore, shop around in the supermarket, read the food labels,
Yeah.
understand the food labels. I mean, just doing something,
Yeah.
that fits your mind. I think this is something which I really tell my clients to. I do have clients who are influencers, like fitness influencers. They're so into their tracking devices, So
Yeah,
I thought,
I don't feel good because my watch says I didn't sleep well. I'm like, no.
and you get
that's
very
not-
you get a lot of
Yes,
anxiety.
you're anxious because
Yeah.
you're so dependent
And you
on
lose
it.
more sleep
Yes.
over it.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. So I mean, these are things which I tell people. I say, don't be too caught up with
Yeah.
numbers. We live in a very number-centric, very performance-centric world already.
Yeah.
Don't make it worse for you,
Yeah.
because if you can't really do anything to change anything or do anything to improve or increase the numbers or whatsoever, don't think about it yet.
Yeah.
But you do know that you need to look at it. Yes, it's important to know that, worrying about it is not going to help. I'm going to make some kind of lifestyle adjustment so that I can bring myself closer to the goal.
Yeah.
Instead of I must hit the goal. It's very, very different. It's like sometimes like customers will tell me that, can my pigmentation clear up totally? The first thing I tell them is that pigmentation is a skin condition that has developed over time. Okay, it will not go off 100%, but I can do my best to reduce it to 5 to 10%. That is something realistic. And will it rebound? The disclaimer is that it will always rebound if you don't take care of it, if you abuse your skin. Yeah, but it will not rebound if I were to do these things in your treatment. And maybe I just have very daily kind of skincare routine that matches your lifestyle, that can help to starve off the pigmented cells from propagating, or further darkening. Yeah, that is realistic.
Yeah.
What humans want to know ultimately is not about being perfect. There's no perfection, or rather, what is perfection?
Yeah.
Right? You're not a character in a Photoshop file.
Yes.
That's all. So we want to know what is the realistic expectation. When you build that, people's minds and hearts will open up and clear up.
Yeah.
It's not for us as a business. It's not so much of like I'm safeguarding my bum for my business.
Yeah.
It's about helping them to see that what is realistic, so that they don't feel so upset when they don't
Yeah.
achieve that very unrealistic benchmark. Don't get into trouble don't play catching game. Don't upset yourself because you need to hit a certain benchmark. Yeah, the worst is that they keep doing all sorts of things on their face, and it gets really, really bad, and they cannot recognize themselves anymore. That's really sad.
You talk about what people are anxious about and everything. What challenges or ethical concerns do you foresee when combining AI and naturopathic wisdom?
Professionals pretend that they know everything.
Yeah.
No.
Know it all.
No, nobody knows it all.
Yes.
Nobody is a full glass of water.
Yes.
Nobody is. The most brilliant minds that I know, and many of them in Fluxx conference, they are always humble. They are always looking for ways to improve themselves, improve their work, increase their knowledge. So am I. You know, life is a constant process of learning. The more I learn, the more I see, the more I speak to people, intelligent people like even like yourself. You know, it make me learn something new, and in turn I can adapt all this new knowledge. I can assimilate this knowledge, and I can churn it and adapt it to the context of my clients, different clients with different adaptations of what I learned over the past 2 days, for example. You know, and they'll be very happy to hear from me because they believe in me. How can I disappoint them by lying to them or like telling them that I know this thing, but actually, oh, you know what?
Let me
check my AI, you know, or like my chat GPT.
Yes.
No, that's not the way. Those are tools to help you, but they are not tools to decide what you do with your life.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. We shouldn't. Yeah. At least AI is not so smart at the moment.
Looking forward, looking like 5-10 years ahead, how do you envision AI reshaping the neuropathic and the wider wellness company?
I think AI will be it's an undeniable force. You know, just like how internet was.
Yeah,
like
I was
20 years
about to
ago.
say that.
Yeah.
Before internet, our parents were like, no internet, we'll not have internet. Now we cannot even think about a day without it.
Yes, correct. But I think we need to use it suitably.
Yeah.
Suitably. Develop, I believe that AI will be so complex that they can really function with a human mind, or rather the average human mind.
But don't you feel that people are kind of becoming too dependent on it, especially the newer generation? That's why the curiosity to learn or to open a book is very less.
Yeah, you don't see many people in the library these days, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think AI gives convenience. You know, I think it's very convenient. But personally, I don't really use a lot of AI when it comes to actual research.
Okay, perfect.
If it's a day-to-day, say, oh, you know, like I want to make Taaliah's day better, so how do I rephrase this so that Taaliah feels happier or she feels a certain way? Yeah, I can use say ChatGPT to produce that phrase.
From where to get the flowers, but yeah, you
correct.
wouldn't be like, get me flowers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but I don't actually take it wholesale, right? I mean, like my assistant, she knows, you know, like how do we rephrase this? Because it's like I just need 2 words to
make it better.
Communicate 5 words. You
Perfect.
know? Yeah.
Before we go, because I can sit with you and talk days, it's that amazing. Before you go, what one key message would you like to give the listeners about AI, about your naturopathy future? What would be that one advice you would like to give as well?
I would like to tell everyone that please use AI responsibly and purposefully. AI is just simply a tool. You know, even like for myself, you know, I could have leveraged on AI to make my life a lot easier, but the word is a lot easier, but it doesn't necessarily mean a lot more effective. You know, so I think that's a message that I want to bring across. But don't reject AI. Don't be threatened by AI, because our jobs, our profession lies very much on how we make use of the tools rather than not growing ourselves and let these tools one day replace us. So I think that's a very important message that I want to communicate to everyone. And in relation to healthcare and very specifically skincare, I think AI diagnosis will be definitely one of the trends, but having a diagnosis and AI alone can only be a tool. You know, it's a method of diagnosis again. Yeah, so go to your most trusted practitioner for proper advice, you know, and if your heart is really not settled, go for a second opinion. It's perfectly fine. Decide for yourself what is best for you. Don't put yourself in the world of misinformation or marketing fluff. You know, if a responsible practitioner will advise you clearly what is suitable for you rather than what you must have, you know, I think, and he or she would be able to educate and share some knowledge with you so that you have the choice. Because for myself, I never wanted my customers to have no choice. Yeah, so with choices comes with a good amount of knowledge.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure as always.
Likewise, Taaliah.
Be authentic. That's the first thing. And you need to understand that liking yourself, investing yourself in your skincare, in your well-being is an investment for the future of yourself, your family, your people, your friends around. That's the biggest message I think I'm going to take away from this. And be adaptive. We're going to have technologies, we're going to have different era of different things. We have to be adaptive, but in that process, you don't lose yourself. And be you, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself and others around, and avoid using plastic, and value your time and others. And this is Taaliah MK signing off. Thank you.